And we have breaking news right now. New Haven's mayor and police chief are getting ready to speak live, a press conference about the shooting of a police officer and the search for the person who did it.
Yeah, there's a shelter in place in right now. We're going to go right now live to that press conference. Let's listen in.
All of his time in the Fairhaven district. Chad's an excellent officer. He was recently highlighted about his de-escalation skills, where he talked a man down who was potentially trying to commit suicide. Chad is at home resting. Please give him personal space. We would appreciate that. Chad was shot in the ear, and it was embedded in the side of his neck. That was removed, and he was also shot in the shoulder, but he is home recovering. At the time, we still have a shelter-in-place order. We have officers searching the area for evidence and also potential suspect. The suspect was wearing an orange sweatshirt and a white hat. We will hopefully be releasing some photos of him in the near future. At this time, there's one suspect. It's clear from the body camera and the dash camera that Chad was attempting to investigate an accident and then was fired upon by one of the people that was involved in the accident. Chad then bravely returned fire. The video is very difficult to watch, and the Inspector General's office is in control of that video per the police accountability bill. We're hoping, that will be released. It will definitely be released within the 96 hours that it is by legal, but we may even release it earlier. We just want Chad some time for Chad to recuperate before that gets out. But it's real important that we release it and that you see the valiant actions of Chad, who was in a life and death situation and being fired upon by the suspect. We're following up numerous leads. We've got great community input. Detectives have talked to a lot of people tonight. They've been pulling video. Like I said, it's covered by the dash cam and the body cam, but there is other video within the community, and the investigation's moving forward. We're hoping to lift the shelter in place shortly. The SWAT team is here. They're on standby in case we do find something. I just ask all residents in this immediate area, the shelter in place area, to please be cognizant of outside, and if they see anything, especially a suspicious male or any kind of blood or any kind of evidence, to call the police department immediately. That's all I have at this time as an update.
Chief,
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor. Just real quick to clarify, so the specifics about the suspect, and we'll put this out in a press release as well. A Hispanic male, thin build, approximately 5 foot 10 inches, and wearing an orange shirt and a white hat while he was on the scene. Obviously, the clothing may change. Just wanted to add, and you'll see this once the video comes out, and we want the video to come out as soon as possible. It's the Inspector General's authority to do that, and they're required by state statute, I think, within 96 hours to put that out. Anyhow, we want to get that to you soon. But we've watched the video, and it's just remarkable how Officer Curry received gunfire from the individual and then quickly responded and put himself at risk. And so often, I think, we say that police officers are putting themselves at risk on behalf of the community, and we don't often remember exactly what that means. And then you see what happened last night. This officer is a hero. The chief and I and many other people were at the hospital with the family. The family, understandably, was very, very shaken up, as were other officers. But I wanted to express my deepest thanks to the police officers and many individuals. You see that there's just tens and tens of officers that are working here and in other sites to identify this individual. And also the family is a part of the New Haven family and the police family. Our heart goes out to them, and thank God this could have gone in a very, very different direction. Thank God that Officer Curry is doing well and expecting a really good recovery.
Now, Chief, at last check, you had said that the suspect, you believe, might have fled the area. Is there any update as to where they might be at this point in time?
We have some solid leads. That's all I want to say at this time, and we're just being precautionary and making sure he's not still in the immediate area.
Chief, do you believe that, or do you know, was the officer called to the scene after the accident, or was he just driving by?
So the officer, from what we understand, and again, it's early in the investigation and we didn't want to bother Chad with details, but he actually hears the accident and calls it in and then drives to the scene of the accident to render aid or whatever, and he sees this person walking away.
Interesting. Can you talk at all about if you discovered in your investigation anything inside the car that crashed that might have been a reason that this person would want to shoot?
No, not at this time.
And they were in the car while they shot, or they got out and then shot the officer?
They got out and ran down the street.
What's
been recovered?
I'm not clear on that yet, so I don't want to answer that.
Was there anybody else in the suspect vehicle besides this one suspect?
Not clear yet.
Was the officer shot while he was in the car and then got out and returned fire?
He was shot at in the car. I'm not sure timeline-wise when he was actually shot.
Have any idea about how many bullets, how many shots were exchanged back and forth?
We're not going to get into that yet. It's still early in the investigation. As you see, the State Police Crime Lab, along with our crime people, are out doing the scene now, so I don't want to misstate.
I spoke to someone earlier who said they heard somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 shots. Would that be out of the realm of possibility?
I think it was more than that, but I don't want to misstate.
Chief, we know that the officer was shot twice, though, right? He was hit twice.
Yes.
This suspect that you mentioned, obviously we're not going to release their name. You have a description of them. Is this someone who is known to police in this area?
We're not going to release that yet.
Was the car stolen, or did that belong to someone we think might be a suspect?
Yeah, this car was stolen a couple months ago.
Where, Chief? Was it, what town was it stolen out of?
I don't recall. So.
Okay.
And this may have been asked, and I just didn't hear it. This suspect, do you think it is someone you are familiar with?
I don't want to state that at this time. It's still early in the investigation.
Is it a juvenile or
The shooter?
yeah?
An adult.
Can you describe at all the search that we've sort of seen a little bit of going on back here? Because it looked like a really huge effort. By the
Yeah, so we called in the SWAT team to clear some areas where we had gotten calls that were potentially maybe someone in someone's backyard or something else. They cleared those areas. Now we have numerous officers and canines looking for evidentiary stuff as well as the possible suspect. We have found things already, so we want to just keep this area contained and get done with this search before we open it up.
Chief, the bullet removed from...
Okay, again, while they're still looking for the shooter, here's what we know about the officer who was shot, Chad Curry, a 9-year veteran of the force. He was shot in the ear with a bullet that lodged in his neck. He was also shot in the shoulder, but you heard Chief Carl Jacobson say he is at home recovering. That's some good news. Looks like a wonderful officer. Search on the New Haven Police Facebook page. They have a great post back from August 31st commending him and his older sister, Nikki, who is also an officer on the force, joined 4 years before him.
Yeah, the mayor has commended him in the past, and back in July, he de-escalated a stressful situation where a man was wielding a knife. That situation ended peacefully, and the mayor was saying it was because of Officer Curry's reaction and the way he was able to deal with that person who was obviously feeling stress and had a knife with him. So obviously,
yes,
as you mentioned, a law enforcement family, 9.5 years on the force. He is going to be okay. As we heard the chief saying, we just want to give the family some privacy as he recovers. But don't forget, there is still a shelter in place as this man is still dangerous. One thing that they were saying was, if you live in that area, be aware if you see any blood on the pavement or anything like that from the suspect. So just to be aware as you do head outside, if you do, even though there is still a shelter in place for that area.
And obviously this is a developing story, which means it's a great time to download the free Fox 61 News app to stay up to date with the latest on breaking news. There's a QR code right on your screen. You can get it for free.